5. It's now time for Constitutionalist Speaking. So recently we saw and heard in the media reports of Jamaica's newly appointed ambassador to the United States of America presenting his official credentials to President Donald Trump. This, we understand, is an important part of the process of establishing or continuing relations between independent states. An ambassador or high commissioner, once installed in a foreign country, enjoys certain privileges and exemptions. These privileges and exemptions are broadly described as diplomatic immunity. Today in this segment, that is where we're going to place the focus and the emphasis on diplomatic immunity. I don't know how many countries Mr. McKenzie has that particular privilege, but he might care to say, or maybe not. But we welcome Herbert McKenzie, well-known attorney at law from the Deputy Director at the Office of the Public Defender, who is here with us this morning for Constitutionalist Speaking. Morning, Mr. Mack. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
You don't have to declare. I suspect there's a long list.
Incidentally, I don't have diplomatic immunity in any country at all.
Okay, then. I stand corrected.
As much I would love to.
Yes, don't we all?
This morning, it's diplomatic immunity. The ambassador of which we speak is Anthony Anderson.
Yes.
The former commissioner of police, I think everybody would know. And he's also the former head of the JDF. So that act of presenting his accreditation and his official credentials is significant in that it shows that the two states, in this case United States and Jamaica, are friendly. Mm-hmm. In other words, they have relationships which go beyond normal state affairs. Now, in people might be wondering, but in non-Commonwealth countries, the person is referred to as ambassador, and in Commonwealth countries, they call them high commissioner.
Okay.
So you'll hear the U.S. ambassador, or the Canadian high commissioner,
yes.
or the British high commissioner.
British high commissioner,
They're
yes.
the same thing, they're different terminology.
Okay.
So the ambassador or the high commissioner, as the case may be, is the head of the mission or the head of the embassy. The Jamaica, in the case of Anderson, and presenting his documents to the United States, Jamaica is regarded as a sending country, and America regarded as the host country. When it's reciprocated, the American ambassador coming here, America would be the sending country, and Jamaica would be the host country.
Yes.
Now, as the head of the missions, they are diplomats, and they enjoy certain immunities. There are also some other members of staff in the mission that enjoy the certain immunities, but they are limited and scaled down as we go down the hierarchy in the staff member. So, for example, probably a driver may not enjoy full diplomatic immunity, and a secretary may not. And somebody who is close, one of the consular officers, may enjoy immunity, not as high as the head of the mission himself, but certainly higher than, say, the driver. No, the principle in it is based upon international law. And there's two main treaties that underline all these things regarding high commission embassies and relationship between states. It's the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations that was in 1961, and following that, the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations in 1963. All these underpinned the type of immunity, the type of privileges, the type of exemptions that the diplomatic staff in the mission enjoys. The fundamental principle is that we are a country A established a mission or embassy in a country called B, despite these territorial jurisdictions, the mission in A is entitled by virtue of the international law, the two I just cited, to immunity from the jurisdiction of state B. Now, this is the part of the diplomatic immunity that the state itself enjoys, which is similar to the immunity that the individual staff members enjoy. They can accept that the staff members, the ambassador, high commissioner, and his staff, those immunities and privileges are personal to them. State immunity is to the state. So, for example, if our police suspect that a robbery is going on at a Canadian High Commission on Waterloo, yes, police can't just go up there and demand entrance or jump over the fence or break down the gate and go in. It can't happen. They'll have to get permission from Canadian High Commission because the law regards the property as inviolable.
Oh. As
part of the immunity that the state enjoys. What you could look at it as is the embassy of the sending country is regarded in the international law as part of the sending country. In other words, insofar as the High Commission of Canada is concerned, so that property up there is regarded as part of Canada.
Oh, I see.
Similarly, the property by Ligani, where U.S. Embassy is located, that property within its perimeter is regarded as part of the United States in the international law. So no law enforcement can jump the fence, break down the wall, go up there, demand security, let them in. That's not how it works. It can't happen.
Like there are no limits or exceptions or waivers, no challenge that can be made, no?
There can be, yes. Let's jump forward. Mm-hmm. Suppose a member of the diplomatic staff commits a very serious crime in Jamaica.
Yes.
A crime, like any serious crime, murder, rape, any serious crime. And it's clearly a breach of our law. Jamaican authorities, the Canadian High Commission, for example, well, anyone can request the government of the sending country. In the Canadian High Commission case, request to Ottawa. Ottawa, please waive the diplomatic immunity of diplomatic staff Tom Jones because he has committed a very serious crime in Jamaica and we need to visit him with the sanctions. Well, Ottawa, in the case of Canada, can say, yes, I'm waiving it. If it is waived, right away Jamaican jurisdiction becomes exercisable over him. The police can take him into custody and treat him like any other citizen of Jamaica.
But that waiver or revocation would have to come from the sending
country. The sending country.
Okay.
It has to come as an official document from the sending country to the government of Jamaica. Only then and only then can the Jamaican jurisdiction be exercised over that person. Well, if the waiving country can say no without waiving it, in which event it is open to the Jamaican authorities or the host country to say, look, you're not waiving it, we are declaring this person persona non grata, in which event he has to lift up, take sticks, go back home. When that is done, Jamaica cannot prosecute him, even though they have already declared persona non grata. The sending state will have to recall him and take him back home. But that's just a mile in. There's another aspect too. The sending state, if the sending state refuses to waive the immunity, then the host state not only can declare the persona non grata, but the host state can say, look, please close the mission in our country. We're no longer interested. That they can close the mission, but that doesn't necessarily mean that relations between the two countries are completely off. If, however, let's use the Jamaican-American case, Jamaica were to ask U.S. Embassy to close this mission, then as a matter of procedure, the U.S. is going to reciprocate and ask Jamaica to close this mission in Washington and recall everybody. But like I say, having closed the respective missions, that's not the end of the international relations. They could still maintain friendly relationships to other countries. So, for example, you have countries in Jamaica, countries who have diplomatic relations with Jamaica now, but they don't have a mission sitting here. It's exercised through other countries, other missions that are here. But the extreme end is that if the sending states decide, I'm not waiting, no matter how serious you regard the crime is, the hosting state can break diplomatic relationships completely, stop everything. That was a case in, I think it was Iran, when in the 70s, Iran terrorists besieged the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and held the staff as hostage. But usually things don't go that far in friendly, between or among friendly states. The first part might happen. Where you ask the person to waive and it's not a waive, they clear the persona non grata, and he's recalled. Now, if you notice, when rumblings of war start between countries, and not too far back when the thing with Iraq started, one of the first things the two countries start doing is start scaling back on the embassy staff. And then ultimately, the embassy is closed. I know once that is closed now, the war machines spring into operation.
Yes.
So the territory of a sending state in the U.S. state is inviolable. And let me also say that the same applies to the residence of the ambassador or the High Commissioner. So where the Canadian High Commissioner lives, where the British High Commissioner lives, where the Nigerian High Commissioner lives, the U.S. Ambassador lives, their home, their residence in Jamaica are inviolable. In the same way that the local security forces can't jump onto the premises of the embassy or High Commission itself, they similarly cannot run in onto the residence of the ambassador under the international law. Vienna Conventions prevent that, and international law respects that. Now, if the two countries are at war and the missions are closed, then the premises of the previous head of mission, it becomes open season. Local authorities can run in onto it. Now, there is, in Jamaica, if you recall, not too long ago, a small spot between the U.S. and Jamaica, and was regarding what people were saying was the gender of one of the official spouses of one of the diplomatic staff. Of course, that was eventually soothed over. And in international diplomacy, they have some very nice euphemistic language that they use to soothe over things that are so drastic and look so rough and hard for us out here. So, for example, a common one that you find in use is in cases where, say, a member of a diplomatic staff, he's the ambassador, is found to be spying and he's expelled, or they seek to waive his immunity, or the missions are closed. The term used is that the person was involved in activities incompatible with his status. Nice long phrase means the man was spying, who want to get rid of him, so call him back home.
Mm-hmm. I remember, and this might be similar. Correct me if I'm wrong. With the founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange.
That's right.
Yes, he had taken up refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy, if I remember correctly.
In London, that's correct. And he was there for years. And it's because of international law why the local authorities couldn't go in to take him out at all. Could not go in to take him out. But in fact, he put in his own mouth because he sort of wanted to dictate terms there and become like a mini tyrant within the People's Embassy, in which case they evicted him. So he lost that privilege.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's a classic example. Mm-hmm. So if, for example, if a Jamaican gunman is needed, being chased, hot pursuit by the police, hot pursuit, they see him shoot a man down the road, he took off his yanging all the way to Lincoln, they can't catch him, and he jumped from the seat of the yanging right over the fence into the embassy. The police chase stops right there.
Wow.
The only way they can reach him is if the U.S. Embassy come and put him out and say, go back out and open road and face the local authority. Mm-hmm. It is, the immunity there is almost absolute.
And we also remember the case of Duda Skok, who it is said was on his way to the embassy when he was actually intercepted.
And
arrested.
Yeah. If he had gone into the embassy there, the Jamaican authorities couldn't touch him.
Right.
But because he wanted by the U.S. authorities, they would have had him like right there in the palm of their hand. It would prevent all the brouhaha and everything that went around about him would have been negated up to that point. Just put him on an aircraft and fly him up to Washington or wherever he was wanted.
Wow. Were it not for the tyranny of the clock, we could continue with this conversation.
Forever.
But it has been very, very interesting, the whole matter of diplomatic immunity. Is there anything else you wanted to add, or you think we can wrap here?
I think we could wrap there. Anything else I might add might take me to another realm of the subject area. So we could wrap there, and then subsequent time, revisit the topic from another angle.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. McKenzie. Have a good day. We appreciate this.
You too. Anytime. Bye-bye.